Church. It's Pastor Mike. Um, how often do you actually find yourself in silence? I thought about that this morning and continue to think about it. So often I have something going on in the background. Maybe it's a podcast that's playing in my morning routine as I'm getting ready, or some music that's going on, a TV show, or maybe just busying my mind with thoughts, with things to do, with constant actions and stuff to keep busy. How rare it is for me to find time of pure silence where I can calm not only the voices that are constantly bombarding my ears, but also quiet the voices within my own heart and just sit. I thought of that because of this morning's text. The text is from 1 Kings 19. It's part of the story of Elijah as he's been going out being a prophet for the people of God, and he's been calling them back to worship of the one true God in the midst of their idol worship. And in doing so, he's made enemies. And he runs away for his life. And as he's on a mountain, the voice of God comes and says, "What are you doing here?" And he answers, he defends himself before God. He says, "I've been zealous for you, Lord. I have been going out because your people have forsaken their covenant. They've thrown down their altars. They've killed your prophets with the sword. And I'm the only one left. They're seeking my life. They want to kill me. This is my refuge, God." And so God says, "Go out on the front of the mountain, and I'm going to show you my presence." And as he goes, there's a mighty wind, so strong that the mountains are splitting and rocks are breaking in pieces. But the text says that the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, there was a mighty earthquake. But again, the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake, a roaring fire and an inferno ensue. But the Lord is not in the fire either. Now, Elijah might have just picked the most unlucky day to ever be on this mountain, but I think there's a reason that God shows him all of these mighty acts and says, "I am not in any of those," because after that comes the sound of a gentle whisper. In Hebrew, it's basically a still smallness comes through. And when Elijah hears that, he walks forward and he finds God at the entrance of the cave. A voice comes to him and speaks to him again. God is present in the still small silence of the moment, not in all the craziness, not in all the voices, not in all the things that we want to associate with power, but instead in the calm and in the quiet, the voice of God speaks. How often I miss the voice of God in my own life because I'm listening for the clanging cymbals. I want the fireworks and I want those unmistakable moments where God hits me over the head and says, "Here I am." But God doesn't scream in our ears. Instead, he whispers so that we'll lean in closer, so that we will draw near to him. God is whispering to you today, in a competition with all the other voices and all the other sounds and screeching and sirens and alarms that are going off in our world. My challenge to you is to tune each one out, because the Lord is not in the sounds. The Lord is in the silence. Listen for the whisper of God, and you will not be disappointed, because he will speak to you and calm your soul and remind you that even in the silence, we are never alone, for our God is there with us. God bless you today.